وسلام على عباده الذين اصطفى أما بعد فأعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم وأوحينا إلى أم موسى أن أرضعيه فإذا خفت عليه فألقيه في اليم ولا تخافي ولا تحزني إنا رادوه إليك وجاعلوه من المرسلين فالتقطه آل فرعون ليكون لهم عدوا وحزنا إن فرعون وهامان وجنودهما كانوا خاطئين وقالت امرأة فرعون قرة عين لي ولك لا تقتلوه عسى أن ينفعنا أو نتخذه ولدا وهم لا يشعرون وأصبح فؤاد أم موسى فارغا إن كادت لتبدي به لولا أن ربطنا على قلبها لتكون من المؤمنين وقالت لأخته قصيه فبصرت به عن جنب وهم لا يشعرون وحرمنا عليه المراضع من قبل فقالت هل أدلكم على أهل بيت يكفلونه لكم وهم له ناصحون فرددناه إلى أمه كي تقر عينها ولا تحزن ولتعلم أن وعد الله حق ولكن أكثرهم لا يعلمون صدق الله العظيم وبلغنا رسوله النبي الكريم ونحن على ذلك من الشاهدين والشاكرين والحمد لله رب العالمين. Surah Qasas, this part of the surah narrates the happenings of the time of Hazrat Musa ﷺ was born. As we had mentioned last night, that Fir'aun had been told by his foretellers that there will be a child born in Bani Israel who would grow up to be rebellious to you and finish off your kingdom. So when Hazrat Musa ﷺ was born, his mother was very scared, feared for his life. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala inspired upon her. And the word here uses وَأَوْحَيْنَا, we sent wahi, but Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala uses in the Quran the word wahi for inspiring someone. So wahi is not only through an angel of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Sometimes something is inspired upon the heart of a person, let alone, it does not even have to be a person. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has used it that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has given wahi to the honeybee as well. So some clear thought that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala establishes in the heart and the mind of a person, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala also uses that word wahi for that as well. No woman is a Nabi. The mother of Hazrat Musa alayhi salam was not a Nabi either. But she was a very pious woman, very close to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, and we'll learn today how Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala cared for her. So Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala told her, inspired upon her, an ardi'i, that feed him. And that is what she did, and tried to keep his birth secret as much as possible. فَإِذَا خِفْتِ عَلَيْهِ, then once you fear about him, which is when the word got out that she has given birth to a baby, and she became afraid. فَإِذَا خِفْتِ عَلَيْهِ, once you fear about him, فَأَلْقِيهِ فِي الْيَمِّ وَلَا تَخَافِي وَلَا تَحْزَنِي, cast him in the river. A mother is being asked to put her suckling baby into the river, and further she is being commanded, وَلَا تَخَافِي وَلَا تَحْزَنِي, neither fear nor grieve. Number one, put your baby in the river, in the flowing water with your own hands. Number two, do not fear. Number three, do not grieve. Hakim Ulumad Muashaf Sathani Rahmatullahi has written a discussion under this, which is that fear is a natural thing, and sorrow is also a natural thing, and they are a lot of times they are out of our control. Somebody dies, we have natural grief. something we do not know about future, we do not know how it's going to turn out, we have natural fear of a bad outcome. But the things that increase that fear, the thoughts that increase that fear, which are called ihtimalat, that there is a possibility that this might happen, there is a possibility that that might happen, there is a possibility that this could have happened, that we could have done something differently in the past about grief. Those things are within our control. So what Allah is telling her is, do not think about the negative possible outcomes, which is within her control. Because Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala never commands anybody to do something which is outside of their control, and fear and grief are natural. But the things that bring about or increase or multiply our fear or grief, some of them are under our control, and this is what she's been told, that do not think about the negative outcomes. Inna radduhu ilayki wa ja'iluhu min al-mursalin. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala already told her that surely we are going to bring him back to you. Wa ja'iluhu min al-mursalin, and not only that, but also we are going to make him from among our messengers. So that is what she did. فَالْتَقَطَهُ آلُ فِرْعَوْنَ. Now the Prophet ﷺ is being told the plan of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala and how Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala brought this plan to reality. فَالْتَقَطَهُ آلُ فِرْعَوْنَ لِيَكُونَ لَهُمْ عَدُوًّا وَحَزَنًا. So the family of Fir'aun picked him up, and Allah is telling that there was a very different reason for which the Fir'aun and his family were picking him up, and Allah is saying that the real reason was very different. The real reason was لِيَكُونَ لَهُمْ عَدُوًّا وَحَزَنًا. They were picking him up, and we will read here that they thought, the wife of Fir'aun, Sayyidah Asiya rahimahullahi alayha, she said that do not kill him, he'll become the comfort of our eyes and maybe we'll make him our son. And Fir'aun also accepted it. So they picked him up out of love and out of hopes. And Allah is saying that our plan was, the reality was that he was being picked up so that this baby could become their enemy and a source of immense grief to them. And this is how Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala was doing things. And this is how Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala keeps on doing things for the believers, and how Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala shapes up things. Although apparently something is very, very negative, something is very full of sorrow and negativity, still Allah's plan is always in action. And this is what the Prophet ﷺ is being taught here. Inna fir'auna wa hamana wa junudahuma kanu khati'in. And the reason is that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala was not doing injustice to them either. Fir'aun, Haman and their people, their armies, they were for sure khati'in, they were mistaken. وَقَالَتِ امْرَأَةُ فِرْعَوْنَ قُرَّةُ عَيْنٍ لِي وَلَكَ لَا تَقْتُلُوهُ. The woman of Fir'aun, her name has been mentioned as Asiya rahimahullahi alayha, she said that do not kill him. He may be a delight of the eye for me and you, do not kill him. It is hoped that he will be of benefit to us. عَسَىٰ أَن يَنْفَعَنَا أَوْ نَتَّخِذَهُ وَلَدًا. Or we'll adopt him as a son. Allah is saying, وَهُمْ لَا يَشْعُرُونَ. They had no idea what was going on. They were doing this, they were saying this, they were thinking this, and they were not aware of what was going to happen. وَأَصْبَحَ فُؤَادُ أُمِّ مُوسَى فَارِغًا. Now, the mother of Hazrat Musa alayhi salam, over time, and some ulama have said that she put him at night, and the next morning her heart started trembling and became restless. So there was a limit to which she could control herself, but she started losing her steadfastness. وَأَصْبَحَ فُؤَادُ أُمِّ مُوسَى فَارِغًا. The heart started to become restless. إِن كَادَتْ لَتُبْدِي بِهِ لَوْلَا أَن رَبَطْنَا عَلَى قَلْبِهَا. The mother of Musa alayhi salam was about, out of her restlessness of the heart, she was about to tell other people about what she had done, because she was so concerned about the baby and the safety that it was close that she would disclose the facts about Musa alayhi salam. لَوْلَا أَرَّبَطْنَا. And had we not strengthened her heart, عَلَى قَلْبِهَا لِتَكُونَ مِنَ الْمُؤْمِنِينَ, so that she could remain among those who had firm belief in the promise of Allah. And this we know from the hadith of the Prophet ﷺ as well, that whoever resolves that I will have patience, Allah also gives them patience. So Allah is saying that she would have disclosed it, but we gave strength to her heart, and had we not given strength to her heart, she would have disclosed it, but she did not disclose it, and she remained firm believer. وَقَالَتْ لِأُخْتِهِ قُصِّي, she said to her daughter, قُصِّي, keep track of him. فَبَصُرَتْ بِهِ عَنْ جُنُوبٍ وَهُمْ لَا يَشْعُرُونَ, so she watched him from a distance while they were not aware. وَحَرَّمْنَا عَلَيْهِ الْمَرَاضِعَ مِنْ قَبْلُ, now when she was keeping track of him, Had Musa, his brother, from a distance, it is written that she somehow had access to the court of the Fir'aun as well. So she followed her brother Had Musa alayhi salam to the Pharaoh's court, and there she found out, and Allah is telling us that Allah had prohibited all sort of feeding. So Had Musa alayhi salam would not go close to anyone for feeding. So the wife of Fir'aun and Fir'aun himself were very worried that how will this child survive. Allah had done that in the first place already. فَقَالَتْ, when she went there, she said, هَلْ أَدُلُّكُمْ عَلَىٰ أَهْلِ بَيْتٍ, should I point to you the people of a family, يَكْفُلُونَ, who will nurse him for you. Now this girl was not a very old experienced woman, she was also a young girl, and out of immense love for brother and the situation, she said in the full court that I will tell you, the whole kingdom is looking for people and women who would be able to feed this baby, and this young girl is saying that I'll tell you somebody who will feed. وَهُمْ لَهُ نَاصِحُونَ يَكْفُلُونَهُ لَكُمْ وَهُمْ لَهُ نَاصِحُونَ, and they are nasihun, they are well-wishers for this baby. Some ulama have written that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala closed the eyes and the brain and the minds of Fir'auni people. They did not think that we have been looking, we have not been able to find, how could this girl find someone? And some ulama have written that she was asked that, what do you mean by وَهُمْ لَهُ نَاصِحُونَ, how do you know the well-wishers of this baby? And immediately Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala gave her wisdom, and she said that by lahu I meant well-wisher to you, because lahu can also direct, the zamir could be towards the well-wisher to Fir'aun, that you are searching so hard, I know somebody that they are such nice, so good with babies that they will be able to take care of this baby. فَرَدَدْنَاهُ إِلَىٰ أُمِّهِ, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is saying, thus this is how we brought him back to his mother. And it is mentioned that Fir'aun and Asiya rahimahullahi alayha, they gave Had Musa to the mother and said that for the coolness, the comfort of her eyes, keep bringing this baby, take care of this baby, feed him and everything, and just periodically come and show this baby to us so that we know that he is in good shape. And some have written that she also actually demanded money from Fir'aun. In one place they were ready to kill the baby, and the other side she asked Fir'aun money, that give me money to take care of this baby for you. And this is how she was paid as well, to take care of the baby, let alone this baby being dead and not being found. So Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala did this. كَيْ تَقَرَّ عَيْنُهَا وَلَا تَحْزَنْ, and Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is saying that these are the things, these are the reasons that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is mentioning that why did we do this. Number one, so that her eye might have comfort, she would find comfort. وَلَا تَحْزَنْ, and so that she might not grieve. So Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala really takes care of those people who are patient and stay steadfast in the command of Allah. وَلِتَعْلَمَ أَنَّ وَعَدَ اللَّهِ حَقٌّ, and so that she might know that Allah's promise is true. وَلَكِنَّ أَكْثَرَهُمْ لَا يَعْلَمُونَ, but most of them do not know. So the address again here is general as well, that people who are giving a hard time to the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam, they should know that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is in ultimate control. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala takes care of the people who are on the right path and fulfilling the command of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala with patience. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala's order prevails, and Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala does what He wishes. And this is how it is going to turn out for the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam as well. Allahumma ja'alna min ahli al-Qur'an alladhina hum ahluka wa khassatuk, wa sallallahu ta'ala ala khayri khalqi sayyidina wa mawlana Muhammad wa ala alihi wa sahbihi ajma'in. Amin bi rahmatika ya arhamar rahimin.